This is another day of solemn decision in Italy's history and of memorable events destined to give a new course to the history of continents. The powers of the Steel Pact, Fascist Italy and Nationalist Socialist Germany, ever closely linked, participate from today on the side of heroic Japan against the United States of America. The Tripartite Pact becomes a military alliance which draws around its colors 250 million men determined to do all in order to win. Neither the Axis nor Japan wants an extension of the conflict. One man only, a real tyrannical democrat, through a series of infinite provocations, betraying with a supreme fraud of the population of his country, wants this war and is prepared for it day by day with diabolical obstinacy. The formidable blows that on the immense Pacific expanse have already been inflicted on American forces show how prepared are the soldiers of the Empire of the Rising Sun. I say to you, and you will understand, that it is a privilege to fight with them. Today, the Tripartite Pact, with the plenitude of its forces and its moral and material resources, is a formidable instrument for the war and a certain victory. Tomorrow, the Tripartite Pact will become an instrument of just peace between the peoples. Italians, once more arise and be worthy of this historical act. We shall win. Hello! Welcome to Interpretation Nation on our show. Really? In this segment, I'll be dissecting Mussolini's speech, Italy's declaration of war on the United States, and I'll help the public find its true meaning. In Mussolini's speech, he says, "This is another day of solemn decision in Italy's history and of memorable events destined to give a new course to the history of continents." In other words, by taking part in this war, the world map will change once again. Mussolini then says that the Steel Pact, which includes Germany and Italy, would become the Tripartite Pact, as Japan would soon become allies with the two Axis powers. Our leader declares that one man only, a real tyrannical democrat, through a series of infinite provocations, betraying with a supreme fraud of the population of his country, wanted this war and had prepared for it day by day with diabolical obstinacy. The man whom he's talking about is FDR, President of the United States. Nobody in the Tripartite Pact wanted this war to go on any farther than it already had, but since FDR kept egging on for this war, the Tripartite Pact needs to act. When Mussolini says, "Formidable blows that on the immense Pacific expanse have been already inflicted on American forces show how prepared are the soldiers of the Empire of the Rising Sun. I say to you, and you will understand, that it is a privilege to fight with them." By saying this, he means that looking at the attack on Pearl Harbor, we can see how ready Japan is for this war. It's truly an honor to fight with them. The next part of the speech reads, "Today the Tripartite Pact, with a plenitude of its forces and moral and material resources, is a formidable instrument for war and a certain for victory. Tomorrow, the Tripartite Pact will become an instrument of just peace between the people." This basically means that today, the Tripartite Pact will be fighting for what's planned on being a certain victory, and tomorrow, the Tripartite Pact will bring universal peace. In Mussolini's final line, he says that together as one nation, Italy can surely win. The speech, Declaration of War on the United States, shows how even though the Tripartite Pact doesn't necessarily want to fight this war for much longer, they'll do so in order to stomp out the enemy. This speech was truly helpful in gathering the people together to find one common enemy. That's all for tonight. Our next segment will be an exclusive insight on our leader with anchor Ellen. Stay tuned.
Benito Mussolini was the founder of fascism and the leader of Italy from 1922. He founded the Fascist Party in 1919. Fascism is a political philosophy that advocates the glorification of the state, a single-party system with a strong ruler, and an aggressive form of nationalism. After the Great War, Italy became a total mess. Inflation increased greatly, causing bread and other necessities to cost a lot of money. In addition, many Italians feared the communists taking over, and Mussolini promised to use violence to stop them. Also, many people had a lack of faith in Italy due to the failure in World War I, the post-war chaos, and a high unemployment. Mussolini took advantage of propaganda posters and spread his word by saying everyone would benefit by supporting him. Mussolini had the support of many unemployed war veterans, and he organized these people into a group called the Black Shirts, who terrorized many political opponents, drove elected officials from office. He also had the support of the upper and middle classes, promising to protect private parties, help increase production, and end all social protests. The lower class supported him as well. He promised them work and bread as well as worker benefits. He was able to please everyone. Mussolini eventually named himself Il Duce, or the boss. From October 27 to October 29, 1992, Mussolini held a pseudo-coup d'etat called the March on Rome, where the fascist party came to power in Italy. King Victor Emmanuel III appointed Mussolini prime minister because he feared a civil war with Mussolini due to the fact he was supported by the military, business class, and liberal right wing.
Now moving on to some new provisions of Mussolini. Let's start off with the Public Works Program. This program is designed to reduce unemployment. It includes the building of motorways, bridges, blocks of flats, railway stations, sports stadiums, schools, and new towns on reclaimed land, which in return reduced unemployment. This mostly affected unemployed workers in a positive way because it gave them the chance to work and gain money for their families. Overall, this definitely helps Mussolini by gaining the support of the working class. Another one of Mussolini's provisions is the Acerbo Law. The Acerbo Law stated that the party which won an election was to be automatically awarded 2/3 of the seats in parliament. This soon led to a fascist-controlled legislative body. This mostly affected the community because this law gave Mussolini more power and control over the country, which led to a restriction of rights for the people. This both helped and hurt Mussolini. It helped him by making him gain more power, but hurt him because the community was against him.
And now for an interview with our leader, Mussolini. So, Mussolini, do you feel that you've done enough with our country, Italy? What are some of your next plans? What do you like about Hitler? When did you start your first rebellion? And for our last question, how do you feel about Jews? That's all for tonight on Really? Really? Please tune in next time when we interview another dictator.